Hi, my name is Dr. Caxton Perry, and I'm going to be sharing with you 7 key steps to entering a new year. You see, most people enter a new year recklessly, ignorantly, and dangerously in such a way that you can actually describe how they go into the new year as crawling into the new year, not really entering into the new year. So today on this video, I'm going to share 7 steps with you that will help you understand how to enter a new year. 7 key steps. You see, with those steps, you can cultivate and develop an attitude and an altitude and affect and organize your thinking process so that you can get to where you're going in life and where God wants you to be. Again, 7 key steps. The first step is to audit yourself and audition for your future. And by that, I mean look at where you really are in the game of life, where you think you ought to be in that game of life. Audit yourself. And once you've done that, you now do the next part, which is still the first step, audit and audition. See, you have to play the role that you want for that future. So if next year you want to be something bigger and better than what you are right now, imagine that you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company with over 20,000 employees, even though right now you may not have a job. What are you supposed to do? Play the role, put on a suit, wear a jacket, put on a tie, and imagine yourself in charge of those people that you are taking care of. What decisions will you make as you audition for that great role in life that God has called you to be, or is burning on the inside of you? That's what you do. That's the first step. That is, you audit yourself again and you audition for that role that you want in your great future. The second step is to what? Is to admit your needs. Whoa, got you there, right? Admit your needs. See, every one of us has what's called needs, expectations, weaknesses, and strengths. And for every one of us, the Bible says that God will supply all of our needs according to his riches and glory, Philippians 4:19. That's a need. Know what needs you have financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and confidently approach those needs like somebody who was put on this earth and whose needs will be met. The second thing that you need to admit is that you have expectations. The Bible says in Psalm 62 verse 5 that the expectations of the righteous shall not be cut off. So the third thing is admit your weaknesses. Every one of us has a weakness. But once we submit that weakness to God, the Bible says that what? To Paul, in his strength, my weakness is made perfect. There's something about my weakness that if I hand it over to God, he's able to do so much more through me. And the last thing that you need to admit is admit your strengths. It was Steve Harrison that told me that, and he tells all of us, own your area of expertise. I am the world's leading expert on the medical complications of divorce. You can wake me up 3 a.m. in the morning and ask me about the medical complications of divorce, and I'll tear it out for you into pieces. So many of you have areas of expertise and excellence that no one parallels or matches what you're capable of, but you don't admit it. So you must admit your strengths, okay? And use that to build the compelling future that you want. That's the end of the second step, admitting your needs, expectations, weaknesses, and strengths. The third thing is what? To admit and acknowledge divine authority. Acknowledging divine authority. In John 15 verse 5, the Bible says of Jesus Christ there in his words that without me you can do nothing. But it's not just to negate our efforts. He's saying that in Luke 1:37, for with God nothing shall be impossible. Isaiah 41 verse 10 also tells us that God will be with us. He tells us not to be afraid. So going into the new year, acknowledging God's capacity to help us because we need his help. Not only that he has absolute confidence that his help can carry us to great places in life. That's why you need to acknowledge divine authority. That's the third step. The fourth step is for you to authorize your future. How do you do that? The Bible says, where the word of a king is, there is power. So you write down, that's Ecclesiastes 8:4, write down exactly what you want to see. Okay? And again, the Bible tells us in Psalm 2 verse 8, ask of me, and I will give thee the hidden for thine inheritance and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Authorizing your future means writing it down and praying and asking God for the things that you need before that year comes true. Mark 11:23 tells us that whatsoever we desire, we shall speak to the mountain, and if we believe it, that mountain will move. Matthew 7:7 tells us what? That we should ask, we will receive, we should seek, we'll find, knock, it shall be opened unto you. That's the fourth step. In other words, authorize your future, writing it down and praying about it. The next step, that is the fifth of the 7 steps, is to acquire the right type of knowledge, acquire the right type of attitude, acquire the right affect. And what do I mean by that? The Bible talks in 1 Chronicles 12:32 of the men of Issachar who had understanding of the times that they live in. You must have an understanding of how to invest, how to lead, how to study, how to buy, how to sell, how to manage your time, and your purpose and your destiny depend on your capacity for management and acquisition of those right types of knowledge. You need to be able to acquire the right attitude. Okay? Proverbs 14:30 says, a sound heart is a life of the flesh. A positive attitude is a sound heart. It gives life to everything else. And it draws other people that are going to help you too. Imagine you have a one drawn out face and negativity all around you. People who even want to help you may shy away from you. And then affect, that's a third thing you need to acquire. The Bible says in 1 Thessalonians 5:18 that we should in everything give thanks. There are so many reasons why you should give thanks, and they far outweigh the number of reasons why you shouldn't. And in order for you to enter this coming new year, don't dwell on the negative. Find something good and positive on which you can dwell and lay hold on that. The 6th step is to anticipate. Remember, the 5th one we said was acquire the right things, the knowledge, attitude, and affect. The 6th thing is to anticipate. Whatever it is that you want in life, anticipation is a key component of whether or not you will get what you need and what you want. Remember, the woman with the issue of blood says, if I can but touch the hem of Jesus' garment, I will be made whole. That is the woman anticipating something. But the Bible also tells us to have a positive mental attitude, to anticipate good things, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. And then Paul also tells us in Philippians 4:8, whatsoever things are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, good, and if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, to think on those things. Now, lastly, of all the 7 things, there's none that is less important than the other. And so the last one, remember, is to associate with people of like minds. If you want to fly like an eagle, there is no way you can stay around chickens. You've got to find eagles if you want to fly with eagles. And that means if you're making $10,000 a year and you want to make $1 million a year, you got to hang around, even if it means doing internships with people making $10, $100 million. You know, serve them. Something about them will be imparted unto you. Okay? The Romans chapter 1 verse 11 tells us about Paul saying he wanted to be with the brethren so that he could impart something to them. When you associate with the right people, they'll impart something to you. And if you're going into this new year, I guarantee you that you need people with vision, clarity, confidence, purpose, people who have accomplished the very things that you want to accomplish. Hang around those people. And if you can't find them, buy their books or go to the library and get their books. Read about them. And read what they have written about their successes and their failures in life. Another perfect example is Elijah and Elijah. Elijah was a man of great power and authority. And he threw a mantle on Elisha, and that changed Elisha's life for good. And in the book of Acts chapter 4, mention is made of the Christians at Antioch. They saw these disciples who did not have any degree, did not have PhDs in theology, and the way they conducted themselves, they could tell that they had been with Jesus. In summary, there are 7 things, 7 steps, that if you follow these 7 steps going into the new year, whether or not you're deeply spiritual, but you know that there's a God in heaven, if you follow these steps, Number 1, to audit and audition. Number 2, to admit your needs, expectations, weaknesses, and strengths. Number 3, to what? Acknowledge divine authority. Number 4, to authorize your future. Again, 5, acquire the right knowledge, attitude, and affect. Number 6, anticipate good things. And number 7, associate with the right people. If you do those things, I guarantee you, your place in this coming new year is going to be different. The end results of what you get in the coming new year are going to be awesome, and you won't regret it. Now, my name is Dr. Caxton. If you want more, you can look up my book, How to Enter a New Year. It's available on Amazon, but we're going to have a link attached to this video. So if you want more, you can get more. And the book is available. It's a very inexpensive book, relatively. And it's a very easy read for those who like to read a lot. It's not that big a book. It's about 74 pages. And I think it'll be a blessing to you. Have a wonderful, blessed new year. May God bless you.